with the millions.
It's that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist. Yo, I got that Ric Flair figure flow. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat on beat flow. Like Jordan after the second time he three-peated, folks. Get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will go. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. Hard like winter cold. Bust these fools, anything less than killing whack rappers is a crime. I stay trying to get mine. Stacking value, packing venues, winning over time. Ain't no fine timeline. Open your eyes, you're looking for the best, and this is what you find. Game is only for the bold. You came prepared, now get ready for the show.
Introducing from parts unknown, your UFC and combat sports insider, Clever D, the Combat G, and the Sports Professor.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, all of you fans, friends. We love you. Thank you for joining us here again. It is the Ball and Buds crew. You know us best. We are here again for our Combat Sports special featuring the star of the show to my left. He is your UFC and Combat Sports insider, Clever D, the Combat G. How are you doing today, my brother?
Omar, usually I'm a little happy about this, but I don't appreciate whoever's running the YouTube page. And thank you to all the people that have been watching. I think we grossed the amount of people from the last show, but I don't appreciate the short that just came out of someone golfing. That looks like me. That wasn't me golfing. Okay. So I just don't understand why somebody would do that, because I don't golf like that. I was trained by Tiger Woods. So it just, I'm outlawed in Top Golf and a couple of different places. You know, I'm amazing at golf. I would never golf like that. So whoever posted that, that's not me. I'm just saying. And I would not wear the same shirt as that imposter anyways. I would not wear the same shirt twice. Well, let's get the show started. How you doing, Omar? What's going on, man?
He said outlawed from Top Golf as the post came from someone. I don't know who did it. I know none of these things from what happened. So whoever posted that must have hacked our account. That being said, what shirt are you wearing right now, my friend?
Oh, this is just, West Side Gun, Pray for Paris. He's got an album coming out. This shirt it's come from a couple albums ago, but I like Griselda. You know what I'm saying? I like good music instead of that junk some of y'all suckers be listening to.
Is there a 187 on the back of that shirt?
Excuse me?
Is there the number 187 on the back of that shirt?
This is a combat and martial arts and boxing show. So we need to get to the script, okay? We need to get to the script and the opening. Shout out to the opening. Who produced it? What's
Let's Talk Sports.
Let's Talk Sports. There we go.
Dan Harris. We're partnered with Let's Talk Sports. Our founder, Dan Harris, we thank him for everything that he did when he was with us. He did an amazing job, and our prayers are with his family and all of his close friends. We toast to him, and we will not let Let's Talk Sports die. We will keep it up and running and alive in his honor. So that being said, let us kick this off. Shout out to everyone else at Let's Talk Sports, including the Bottom Line Sports crew. You can check us out every Sunday and Tuesday. Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern for all of the sports talk. That being said, the next time you will catch us here at Ball and Buds for the Combat Sports Special will be UFC 295, 11/11. So only good things come with all of that, including Veterans Day and including a very big surprise for all of you, our friends and fans. So just be prepared and wait for the good news on that. While you're at it, go ahead and smash the subscribe button there at Ball and Buds on all of your channels. And now let us go ahead and kick this off. I am yours truly, the Sports Professor. Company, we have a huge card this weekend at UFC 294. we get to see Alexander Volkanovski versus Islam Makhachev Part 2 and Kamaru Usman versus Khamzat Chimaev. And so that's going to be a huge card, and we are going to get to it, all of our fans, but we know that you wanted us to talk about some other things first, and so we want to go into some boxing first, and we will get to the huge UFC card in just a couple minutes. So, Clubber D, let us start off with boxing, the biggest news in boxing this week. Please tell us fans and everybody here what that was.
Well, after 37 years of amazing fights, okay, and I'm going to talk about your parents, amazing fights on TV, Showtime is done with boxing and MMA. They are done at the end of this year. Apparently, they might still put on the or promote the pay-per-view in 2024, or they may have fronted PBC the money. But PBC has left Showtime. They do not. Paramount bought Showtime. They don't want boxing anymore. There's a gazillion reasons on why. One of the reasons, not putting on good fights, fighters not fighting, inactivity of the top fighters. So basically, the everything's going to change in boxing. Okay, when HBO about 5 years ago was done with boxing, Top Rank went to ESPN. Okay, and who knows what PBC or where they're going to go? And you got to remember, PBC has a lot of top fighters and a lot of fighters that people like to see fight. Okay, like your Deontay Wilders, your Earl Spences, upcomers like Frank Martin, Gervonta Tank Davis. They're all under the PBC banner. So even though they don't like to fight anyone outside of their own organization, where are they going to fight now? So there's a lot of rumors. It could be Amazon, it could be DAZN, it could be both. But right now, after 2023, they have no home. Their home is right behind me with these bricks. Okay, because they're going to be homeless. You know what I'm saying? They'll be out there struggling and grinding on the street. It'd be like that. They'd be hanging. I saw Oscar the Grouch the other day. He owes me $5, but that's another story. But let's keep this thing moving. Oh, the mute got you. The mute got him. That's the first of the day.
The first of the mute master. Yep. And you know what's funny is I just told myself, I went to mute it, and I was like, he's not going to talk for that long because it's the first question. You should probably not mute yourself. And I muted myself anyways and then forgot. All right. So anyways, the mute master is live. This is crazy, right? Showtime, we give you the jokes on Showtime, right? After 37 years.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, going back to our childhood and even further back to that, our parents were watching boxing and things like that when they were younger. Those days are over now. There's no more Showtime. There's no more, and it's like, and I know streaming is the new thing these days, right? Cable is, pretty much dead as we know it. So streaming is the whole game these days, and so that's where's the highest bidder? Who has the most amount of money? But also, as you mentioned, there's another factor to this. How quality are the fights, right? It's not like before, one of our favorite eras that we talk about all the time, the Hagler and the Hearns and the Duran, or even the Mayweather and the Cotto and Pacquiao and things like that. So how does that play a factor? How does the degradation of fights? How does the quality of matchups? How does the abstaining of people, staying on their side of the street, as you like to say, right? Yeah. Playing their corner, saving their O, right? Making the most money they can. How did that play a factor into this decision?
Well, Shakur Stevenson said this a while ago on the Breakfast Club. He basically said that Mayweather kind of ruined it for boxers nowadays, because Mayweather, before he was Money Mayweather, he's Pretty Boy Floyd, and this guy fought like 7 times, 8 times in a year, to build his name, and now fighters are, and then after we turn into Money Mayweather, he's more or less only about the big fights. So now these younger fighters that don't have a name like a Mayweather or somebody even 5 notches under him want the big money fights. And these big money fights won't happen unless you build your name, build your brand. Somebody that has done that, look at Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, even though he's never fought any world champion besides Tank, got that big fight with Tank because of his social media
sure did.
Popularity. This guy's he has millions of IG followers and TikTok followers, things of that nature. He branded himself to get to that level. That's cool, sure, but you need the boxing skills. And what they need to do is go to the grassroots of boxing, build somebody up. Showtime used to work with NBC, messed that up. They used to work with Fox, messed that up. They need to go back to, PBC did that. They need to go back to the grassroots, start fighting on free TV, build a star, then go to pay-per-view. Nobody should be paying for Andy Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz. That shouldn't be a pay-per-view, you know what I'm saying? Or Andy Ruiz for Chris Arreola. Things like that. That should not be a pay-per-view card. You got Caleb Plant going against Benavidez. That's borderline pay-per-view, and that's a pay-per-view card.
Borderline.
Okay, and we'll talk about the Charlo card, but also the product that's on pay-per-view. You want me to pay $80 to watch somebody run for 12 rounds? No, sir. Not going to happen. So that's the problem. What's going on?
Wow. Well, yeah, I mean, and that it's crazy that as you say that analysis, we see that play out live on TV this past weekend with Misfits Boxing and Lord. The whole, shenanigans that was Logan Paul versus Dylan Dennis and KSI versus Tommy Fury and all these other no-name YouTube stars that, okay, cool, it's for the non-fans or the, social media people that don't really care about boxing or the sweet science or sports in general. It's more just for, this person has, like, there was one guy on there, a Mexican fighter that I had never heard of, and he had millions and millions of followers. And I was like,
Twitch, man.
First of all, I've never heard of you. Second of all, what do you do? Third of all, you're not a real boxer. So, what do you do? What is your real job? How do you have this many followers? It pisses me off when it doesn't piss me off. I'm just like, how? I don't understand. Anyways, so we see that was basically a sham, a mockery, just of everything that boxing is. But what are your thoughts on that and how that whole event played out and how that shapes into boxing?
So this is what needs to happen, and I would say Jake Paul does this a little better. When he has his fights, he has had Amanda Serrano, had her showcase the women boxing. If you're going to do this, that's right. She had called me the other day, but my phone was off. I didn't have no minutes. But so when you have a freak show fight where people are going to just watch, okay, famous Jack versus famous John, who cares? They do this boxing match, showcase other boxers, kind of like when Mike Tyson would fight, he'd have Christy Martin fighting, you know what I'm saying? He would have, if you're going to do that, showcase other boxers so that person can get a buzz. I think Jake Paul, when he fought Nate Diaz, Snoop's cousin, who's an actual boxer, it's a young kid, he's really good. The name is slipping me, but he was showcased, okay? So you can do that, but don't have Logan Paul against Dylan Dennis when Dylan Dennis falls down, lays down, tries to pull guard. That's basically a jiu-jitsu move when you're on your back, have your legs up. Pause, that sounds wild. But, you lay down, have your legs up as if Logan Paul's going to start grappling with you and you're on the ground. This is boxing. You try to put him in a full front a guillotine choke. He tried that. So it's like, what are people paying to watch? Okay, this is play boxing. You don't play box. You actually box. Okay, shout out to KSI. He at least takes it kind of serious. He fought Tommy Fury in the main event, and it was Tommy didn't look that great, but Tommy hasn't fought nobody. You know what I'm saying? So it puts eyes on everybody. I'm sure everybody was happy in Manchester because I guess it was Manchester versus London, the battle of no seasoned food. But it's just it's not a good showing for the sport because if I'm a casual fan, if Sally that goes to Wegmans or Margaret that goes to Giant or Samantha that goes to Publix, are they going to if they tune in to watch this fight and they see that mess, they're like, oh, that's what boxing is? I'm not going to watch this crap. So it's not good on the sport. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not at all.
And it was crap. If you really wanted to look for any of the sweet science, there was only really and my degenerate behind had this running on my phone. So I watched it in and out, and I saw pretty much most of the matches that they have on the card, and it was an embarrassment of people that could not box. A bunch of people on the internet that, while putting up a good effort and having a good time, that's all it was just like a party. It's called Misfits Boxing. Mm-hmm. It was ran at $55 a piece. The reports came out today that Dylan Dennis, who only, by the way, landed 16 punches to Logan Paul's 108. was paid over $1 million for this fight.
I mean, they sold out Manchester. They had those guys. I'll give the British boxing fans are way better than American boxers, because the problem with American boxers, they're like,
oh, that wouldn't have. Yeah, no one would have showed up.
In America, it's oh man, takes the man. Do you buy a show? Do you buy a fight? No, I illegally stream. Do you go to a fight? I ain't doing all that. So we don't support our own here in America, but over there in the UK, they support their own. So props to them. I mean, I'm not going to hate too much because they're doing numbers on their side, but for us, it's like, what's going on, man? Jesus Christ.
You know? And I mean, as I mentioned earlier, aside from Tommy Fury, who wants to be a boxer but has proven in his fights that he's not his brother in the least, who we'll get to in just a second. You know, KSI either, right? He at least he trained and seemed to have put up a better fight, but him too. He's just like moving like this the whole entire time, and I'm like, dude, can you just like calm down and get a good guard and a good defense going on? But anyways, there was one kid on there. You mentioned Unseasoned Food. This kid called Dean the Great or something like that, or Dean the Dream or something. First of all, he was the best boxer on the card by far.
Not bad.
He was pretty good. He has a great defense. He has good agility. He was sliding out of the way real quick. He got like the Floyd Mayweather type, ducking out the way type moves very quick. Had a very good counter jab, but he's a little small. But after the fight, he was talking to the announcer, asking him the questions. He was like, one thing, he's like, oh yeah, I'm the Prince of London or whatever. But one thing y'all need to do, because I can't deal with this, y'all need to start seasoning your food everywhere I've been. And they started booing. They're like, boo.
And he had the audacity to say, I hit harder than Tank, and called out Ryan Garcia and all these other people. And I'm like, sir, you're not allowed to. Don't, like, I understand you're fighting somebody that is below you and your level is very low. You might look good, but if you fight a real boxer,
right. He wasn't fighting a real boxer.
Yeah, you'll wake up and you'll be in the shadow realm. You'll be wondering, oh, where's Frodo? You know, you thought you put the ring on, looking around and stuff. You'll be in the darkness. So it's like, don't do that. You can get hurt. You know, it's one of those things. They like to. It's cool for promotion, but in reality, you'll get humbled real quickly.
So with all that being said, with HBO Showtime out the game, streaming on the rise, but also horrible boxing on the rise, while less quality boxing is on the decline. How does all that play out, and what do you see in the future of boxing over 2024, my friend?
Well, when you say horrible boxing, you know, we have what's going to happen next Saturday with Ngannou and Fury. And
you might as well go on, because that was the next question. So
yes, I'm transitioning right into that. So we'll get to who Fury's going to fight after that. They already announced it. But you know, with that being said, heavyweights might have a chance because Ngannou has power. He's knocked out everybody. He's knocked people to heaven, down to hell, then back to reality. He does, when he hits you, it's ridiculous. Now, will that happen with a real fighter? Absolutely not. Ngannou's a big dude. He's like 6'4". He's a big guy. You know what I'm saying? One of the most feared men on the planet, okay? But Fury is 6'9", and that is a seasoned boxer. Fury is high-level boxing. With that fight, I was wondering if I can save who I'm going to pick, my club banger for. I might save that for a short. Who knows? You know, I don't know. Should I say it now? Who I think's going to win, or should I wait? It's up to you.
It's completely up to you, my friend.
Oh, you're bouncing back to me?
You know what?
Okay. Yeah,
let's give the people what they want. Give the people what they want.
Okay, I'll give you a club banger. Let's go. Fury.
Hold on. Not yet.
Let me know when you're ready, because I'm not sure how many rounds they're scheduled for, if it's an exhibition or if it's an actual fight.
It's on. Well, let me get you all the details here real quick. All right, so it is on October. Let me pause this real quick. Can you hear that? What I just played? Did you hear that soundbite? You couldn't? Good. Okay, because I couldn't either. So that's kind of weird. All right, so never mind. The soundbite didn't play, so I'll go ahead and just announce it. It's October 28th. And so they are going to be fighting in Saudi Arabia. It's a 1 p.m. start time. And it looks like it is going to be Actually, they don't have the rounds here, so I think it is. I thought it was 10 rounds.
It might be 8 to 10 rounds.
I thought it was 10. I think it's 8 to 10 rounds. Yeah, I can't. I'll find the correct answer.
With it being Saudi Arabia, you already know that you know what, that money's over there, and I love it. They want to put on a good fight. So let's make it happen. But to let you guys know something, the fact that they're fighting at 1 and the main event probably won't happen until 5 means that they don't care about America and their timing. You're going to adapt to us because that's perfect time for them probably. So that just means they got the money to where they don't care about the outside, maybe American market. They got their market already. They're getting UK and Cameroon, where he's from, in Africa. So we're going to say that fight's 8 rounds. Fury will allow that fight to go similar to Mayweather and McGregor. Fury will allow it to get to, I say 6 rounds. Fury will allow it to get to 6 rounds, and then it'll be over with.
It's 10 rounds, by the way.
10 rounds. It won't go past 6. We're lucky if we get 7. That's my opinion. And Fury, if he doesn't get him up out of there before then, that's if I was Usyk, I'd be loving that. But I'm saying that right now, if Fury does not get him out of there around 6 or 7, just giving people a show, that's a wrap. Shout out to Dale. That's my man.
Yes. And now I figured out why that sound wasn't playing.
Clubs, bangers.
Yeah,
Clubs, bangers. Clubs, bangers.
There we go. Yo, Clubs, bangers coming through.
Like I said, it's gonna Fury will allow it to get to
Club
shut up,
bangers.
Dion. Shut up.
I know. Dion, be quiet.
Keep going and going. But yeah, so he'll allow it to get to 6 or 7 rounds. That's about it. It's not gonna go too far.
Yeah, I think we already knew that anyways. It's a cash grab. I think we pretty much knew your answer. I think everybody knew your answer. It's just another way for people to make money off of boxing that don't necessarily care about boxing. And Fury has shown himself, even though he's one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, he's showed himself not to care about boxing, and that it's more about making money and a show to him than it is about the actual skills or the actual. Now, can't take anything away from him. He's a great champion, the lineal champion. So that being said, let's get to an actual fight where we'll actually see his skills and possibly actually get the what could
hold
be.
on, no, you got a question in there. You got a question in there.
We got a question.
We got a question.
I did not see the comments. Oh, what are we sipping on? Clubber G coming from the snail.
Well, first of all, I don't know who Clubber G is. I don't know who G is. That's not me. Maybe
wow, doesn't even know your
shout
name.
out to the homie. Shout out to the homie G. But what am I? First of all, we were talking about Tyson Fury. This is a big segue, So I'm keeping it British with the MF Doom right there. If y'all can see that, hope y'all can. Okay, all right.
Yeah, so, it's blending it a little bit with the bricks, but yeah.
But I'm keeping it ethnic with the Uncle Nearest. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, the Uncle Nearest. Okay.
All black everything. Taught Jack Daniels how to make whiskey. If y'all know, you know.
So yeah, Fury versus Ngannou is October 28th at 1 p.m. Eastern. And recently we had, shout out to the other snail and all the 703 boys. We see you. Recently we had the huge announcement, of Tyson Fury signing to fight Alexander Usyk. So this is supposed to happen. Again, it's not fully completely done, but if it does happen, it's going to be early next year. And this is, one of the greatest heavyweight fights of all time we're talking. So give me your thoughts more on this.
I can't wait for this fight to happen. I might fly out there. I got a couple of Habibis out there. I got to talk to them. But so with this fight, we will find out who is the baddest man at heavyweight division. We will see who is the undisputed champion. Technically, Tyson Fury is the undisputed champion because he had the belts, and then he had the whole tested positive, then the mental health breakdown, all that stuff after he beat Klitschko. But I cannot wait for this fight. They're saying maybe January or February. If I was Francis Ngannou, I feel a certain way. How are you going to announce a big fight when we got our business going on? But that is what it is. I won't do my analysis too much on this just yet. Y'all got to wait for it. But
that's coming up later.
Yeah, come up later, and you'll be shocked who I pick. But I feel like this fight needs to happen. It's supposed to be an all heavyweight card. They've done that before and just show off all the heavyweights. I believe the fight against Ngannou will have all heavyweights on the card, so that's pretty cool. Also, that's how you build names. People are going to watch. They want to see knockouts. They want to see fighters. Who should I look out for? So they're doing the right thing. The only thing I'm pissed off about this fight, the Saudis, they got the money and they want to see the fights, and I love it. However,
and they're getting all of them.
Oh yeah, because they got the bread. Like, hey, if you look, pay me, I'll play cricket, I'll play soccer, I'll go over there. You know what I'm saying? I used to call the Black Flash back in the day. Zero right there. That was me. But that was back in 1987 before I messed my toe up and got a prosthetic toe. But so anyways, what I'm saying about the boxing, only reason I'm a little pissed off about this is because Joshua and Wilder wanted to fight each other, and that's not going to happen. And I was going to be on this card. I kid you not. If you charge $100, I pay $100 for this fight.
That would have been the best card. That would have been the best card.
But they can't figure out the particulars with the money. You know, one person wants this, one person wants that. I don't care. I just want to see them fight. I want to see Joshua, you Great Britain, freaking Lex Luger going against the string bean, Deontay Wilder, and Wilder got all the power. I love Deontay Wilder. This man has knocked down or knocked out everybody he's fought. Okay, I've never seen a fighter like this. All right, besides myself back in 1982. But go ahead.
So what was your fighting name again?
My stage name was Stretch Mark, but that's another story. Let's keep.
No, your fighting name.
My fighting name.
Yeah, you said it last time.
Yeah, I be forgetting sometimes.
Anyways,
black. I play cricket.
So speaking of though, all right. So Fury versus Usyk. The latest reports coming out today out of the DAZN are saying that it's April is going to be when it's going to be the fight.
Good grief.
Yeah, they said they probably won't be able to get it done till then. So it is what it is. But it's really going to be an exciting fight because you have two, champions, former champion, whatever you want to call it. They've both been champions. As we mentioned, Fury is the lineal champion now, right? But Usyk, beat Joshua for the titles. So this is the biggest heavyweight fight, I'd say, probably in the past 10 years, probably, or something like that.
Thinking about heavyweight fight, I would say Wilder versus Fury was a big fight, but it wasn't for all the belts.
That was probably the.
But I would say the biggest fight for heavyweights. Oh yeah, it's been quite some time. You know, I mean,
it's like Lennox Lewis and Evander
Lennox Lewis
Holyfield,
and Tyson, Lennox Lewis and Holyfield. You know, we had even Riddick Bowe back in the day going against Holyfield. Those were amazing fights. You know. So.
By the way, yes, I read an article that had an interview with Evander Holyfield this week. And he said that his toughest opponent was Riddick Bowe. Now they also had a trilogy together, so that might be why.
Brooklyn, yep.
But,
yeah. If you remember, when the fan with the little parachute came in when they were outside in Vegas.
Yes,
yes, man,
yes. I forgot all about that. Yeah.
And if Holyfield was holding on to that hairline, it was rough. It was rough.
Yeah, it was like get rid of that, like Michael Tyson got rid of your ear. So,
oh my God.
Young kids, if you don't know about Mike Tyson biting Evander Holyfield's ears, go check YouTube. It was crazy. That being said, going from that really great fight that we hope to see in the future to a really great champion versus champion fight that we saw in the past month, or what we thought was supposed to be a great fight, but actually turned out to Cover D. Canelo Alvarez took on Jermell Charlo back a couple weeks ago. It was a complete domination. I'll let you speak on it. What are your thoughts on this fight?
Well, with that fight, okay, so there's a couple issues wrong with that fight. You had two undisputed champions, which is great. However, Canelo was at 168. Charlo was at undisputed at 154. You're asking the smaller man to come up to 168. Cool. That's two-weight division. Boxing is a little different from MMA, okay? In MMA, if you look at MMA, the weight classes are weird. I'll touch on this with the Kamaru Usman and the Khamzat Chimaev fight. Okay, from 135, 145, 155, only 10 pounds. From 155 to 170, that's 15 pounds. From 170 to 185, that's 15 pounds, and so on. So it's hard for people to move up in weight. Okay, kind of like Terrence Crawford, which would be another video talking about fighting Canelo. Stop that. So,
and really quick before you move on, hold that thought. Remember where you were at. Hold that thought.
I got you.
How does that affect? Because that most people that aren't true fans may not understand. They'll say, "Oh, 10, 15 pounds. What is that?" But in boxing, in wrestling, in MMA, how big is a 10-pound, 15-pound weight difference?
Oh, it's humongous. It's humongous. I mean, if I'm at 135, which I haven't been since 1932. If I'm at 135 and I fight somebody at 145, okay, if I'm used to fighting at that weight, I come in and make the weight at 145, and I'm probably walking around at 146, 147, maybe 10, 15 pounds over. I cut down and get that weight. That's fine. How do I hold the weight? Will I have the same power that I had at 135? The guy I'm fighting who's normal at this weight, he might come in fight day 165, 170. Arturo Gatti was notorious for doing this, for making weight and then weighing 20 pounds heavier on fight day. Brock Lesnar cut weight to get to 265 and then coming to fight against Randy Couture, damn near 300 pounds, when Randy Couture is only 240. So weight and how you hold the weight is a big thing. Canelo versus Charlo. His nutritionist told him, I want you weighing in around 165 on a certain day. He didn't come in weighing that. When he weighed in at on fight day, he was same weight as Canelo. So he wasn't following what his nutritionist wanted. Mm-hmm. You can't hold, of course, Charlo's the bigger guy. He has the frame to hold the weight, but it's how you hold it. Pause if this sounds funny. Right. It was doughy around the waist. Okay. That didn't, when I saw that the weigh in, I was like, oh, that doesn't look good. Okay. You know what I'm saying? He looked kind of doughy around the waist. He was in shape, don't get me wrong, but how does your body hold this weight? When Canelo fought Amir Khan and knocked him out, Amir Khan, because they fought at a catch weight at 156, Amir Khan was moving up for 147. He said that Canelo came in weighing as a cruiserweight. Okay, so he made weight at 156 and then ballooned up to like 190. Amir Khan barely made that weight. So it's like it's a mixed match. It's a mixed match when that stuff happens. So when people in the fight game, just put it like this: there's weight classes for a reason. There's a reason why Mayweather's not calling out Deontay Wilder. Okay, there's a reason why Mayweather stays where he's good at, and then he used to drain people also. And then not to get into it with boxing, Canelo's notorious for this rehydration. Okay, I fight you at 168. You can't rehydrate 10 pounds on fight day. You know what I'm saying? Right. So there's a lot to this, and same with the Volkanovski Islam fight. We'll get into that. There's a little rehydration issues with this, which I'm not liking when I'm reading, but I don't know the particular when it comes to that. But we'll talk about that.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a perfect segue. We might as well go into it right now. Thank you for that in-depth review. Oh, I mean, what else did you have on the Canelo Charlo? Anything else on that?
Oh, I'll put it like this. So the reason why Showtime doesn't want to mess with PDC is because when you say two undisputed fighters are going to fight, we want to see a fight, not one person who's ready to fight, other person have track shoes on. Don't run for 12 rounds. Act 12 like you rounds. Want to fight.
Just ran.
And I thought, and the problem with this fight is Canelo. Oh, something's happening. I see it behind me.
What is going on?
It's probably flooding that stuff. But it's so the thing is, like Canelo, you're the bigger guy. You should bully him. You should not let that fight go that long. The 7th round, I know he was running, cut the ring off. Canelo doesn't have good footwork. We all know this. So he should have cut the ring off and ended this. I thought it was going to be a knockout in the 7th round, and I'm saying that because you're the bigger guy. You're supposed to bully him. Yes, he ran, but you cut the ring off, make the ring small for him. I thought it was going to be a knockout. I called knockout. He got knocked down in the 7th round, but it went the distance. So Canelo, to me, didn't look that great in the outcome of that fight because that's a smaller guy coming to weight class. He's supposed to take him out easily. So, and Charlo, you just wanted the money and you admitted it after the fight. Why are you calling somebody else out after you fought? Calm down.
Right.
Relax.
Right. You weren't even close and you want another fight?
Yeah, Terrence Crawford. You ducked Costa Shout out to Ian, who's a loyal listener. Man, Ian from Australia. Tim Tszyu, Costa Tszyu's son, is now the WBO champion at 154. So Charlo is not undisputed anymore. There we go. He won the belt. So Charlo, my thing is this: Canelo, yes, he won, but he fought somebody who hasn't fought in a year, coming off a hand injury with no surgery, who's moving up to weight classes. So, come on now.
And so, how does that make you feel about Canelo's prospects, and what do you see him, possibly doing next? Does he actually ever fight the Benavidez fight that we really want, or is okay? So where does he go next then? What's next for Canelo in 2020?
So Canelo, this thing about Benavidez, he's 6'2", he's a full 6'2", and he's bigger than Bivol.
Big boy, reckless.
Wow. And wow, pause, Jesus Christ! But he's a bigger dude, like damn near heavyweight, and can get down to 168. Canelo cannot. He's going to bully Canelo. What is Canelo going to do to get him up off him? Does he have the power to get him back? If Bivol, who is who is Benavidez's sparring partner, can.
Oh, they're sparring partners. I didn't know
they sparred together before. And you see the picture, Bivol looked like a little guy, and he's a weight class higher. So, how if Bivol bullied Canelo, What the hell do you think Benavidez is going to do? That's why they're not having him fight him. That's why he's ducking him. They're already talking about the older Charlo who's fighting Benavidez's brother on the same card of Benavidez's Andrade fight, Jose Benavidez. So Canelo, we saw the tweets. Should I get into the tweets with a certain person, or we got to wait for that?
No, that's fine. I mean, you're welcome to bring up whatever you want.
So this is my thing. Canelo said he wants to fight in May. We all know it's not going to be Benavidez who's fighting in November, Black Friday or Black Saturday, whatever it is. Is that Black Saturday? Could be Brown Saturday. Who cares? But he's fighting Demetrius Andrade, another person that Canelo ducked. They're fighting in November. Now, Benavidez will be ready by May to fight Canelo on what is it, Cinco de Mayo, the day after my birthday.
Oh, yeah.
But he's not going to go that route. He's already talking about, Charlo. I might fight the other Charlo who hasn't fought in 2-some years, who's going to fight on the same card, fighting Benavidez's brother, moving up in weight class. So, and now they're saying Canelo now and Conor McGregor and Canelo are going back and forth on Twitter. So I'm like, wait a minute, are we planting the seed? Is he going to say?
Wait a second.
Conor McGregor and Canelo are going back and forth, just like Canelo said, I'd fight Jake Paul if it was right. So it's like, come on, bruh. How many times are you going to start ducking the people you should be fighting? Like, if he's going to do this, that's fine. Take the belts away. He should not be undisputed. Take the belts away. This man has been interim champion for the last, 2-3 fights. Benavidez lost his belt twice because once was on a scale. He didn't train right. That's on him. Second was a substance abuse. Something was in his blood, a recreational drug. It's you know what? Accountability. However, he's a true WBC champion. Now, Canelo's talking about fighting Jaime Munguia, another great Mexican fighter, a young kid, moving up from 160 to 168 on a Mexican Independence Day. I think it was September 15th or 18th, something around that date. But why are you fighting these guys moving up? You have business to take care of right now. So that's my issue with Canelo. That's my issue. So, yeah, Conor McGregor and him are going back and forth. And I'm like, if they do a Conor McGregor versus Canelo, I'm going to be so pissed off. Like, come on, man.
And so is that really what could happen, though? Because we know that Conor was supposed to fight Michael Chandler, at least, and then that didn't happen. But people were hoping that he would come back to MMA. So could we see him say, no, I'd rather go get the cash grab like I've done before against Floyd and go boxing? But would Canelo want to do that? Would that stunt his prospects, or does he just have nowhere to go? Because it seems like kind of he's between a rock and a hard place if he doesn't want to lose his titles.
Well, for Conor, Conor wants another big fight like that because when he did fight Floyd, the reason why that fight was allowed to happen, the UFC got a big chunk of that 100-some million that he got for that fight. So that was a big fight, and we were all there down in Clearwater, Florida. You and my brother had the fist up when Mayweather came out. Everybody wanted to be gun-ho America, but when Conor came out, I thought we were in Ireland. I thought, wait a minute, I thought this is America. Like, so it's bigger when it's got a different color. Another story.
Right.
But so Conor against if he fought Canelo, it'd be a big cash grab. People like us will talk about it. I might show up there because I got a new toe. My toes, I can fly with my prosthetic toe. But so would I watch the fight? Yes, I'll watch it. But it'll be another thing like the Mayweather fight. How long will Canelo allow Conor to be there? And Conor, I feel, is ducking USADA, who's not working with UFC anymore, because they're like, you know what? We don't want to drug test you no more. Okay. Conor was like, I'm not getting into USADA pool. So the issue between USADA and UFC, it looks like USADA was calling UFC out, like, hey, Conor's not listening to us, yada, yada, yada. And because it's obvious that he's juicing, you know what I'm saying? The guy's swole. He's like probably 180 pounds right now. But it looks like UFC has chose Conor's side over USADA. So they're not going to work with them as the dope agency as far as drug testing their fighters. So I guess that's going to be a thing in the past, USADA, and now they're with a new organization. So it feels like the UFC has said, you know what, drug testing, cool, but Conor's a bigger star. Conor has all the money, and we'll make that rock.
Yeah, and so I mean that was some really big news that came out this week as well. That UFC had dumped USADA for Drug Free International. who's going to be their new provider of the drug testing for all of their fighters and all of their events. And so, as you mentioned, right, it was the UFC taking the side of Conor over USADA, and Dana White even said as much on First Take. He said, it was USADA's, mess up, F up, basically. So do you know any more information into that, into why them and Conor were beefing, or what happened in that situation between them and Dana White?
I know, what's his name? Chandler was pushing for that fight because that's a lot of money he could make for that fight.
Of course, right.
Conor hasn't jumped in the pool, and they have strict rules as far as like what he needs to do to be part of this USADA and how he can fight. So they'll show up anywhere and drug test you. A lot of fighters like to wait a while, get the stuff out their system, and then say, okay, I'm ready to fight. USADA's been reaching out to him. Conor's just been ignoring them. So if you don't play by our rules, then no, you're not going to fight.
Wow, okay.
Dana's like, no, let's play by Conor's rules, not yours. And same thing with Mayweather and Pacquiao. Nobody's bigger than the commission. Mayweather wanted strict rules with Pacquiao, make sure he's not doping, things like that. That's why that fight took forever. It was like, oh, I'm not going to fight him. He could be dead. Like Roy Jones Jr. said, I don't care what's in your system. I'm going to still knock your ass out. Okay, so if you're sure of yourself and your skills, you could be doped up. Perfectly fine. You can still feel pain. It doesn't stop pain. Okay.
Right.
It doesn't like people hate Barry Bonds. It's a hot topic. Okay. Barry Bonds. Yes, he juiced. Okay. But they didn't give him hand-eye coordination. That didn't help with that.
Right.
If you're going to let other batters take Ritalin and other ADD drugs so they can focus harder, so they can hit the ball, then, what's the problem? So
right. No, I mean, I agree. If you're going to let some people juice, you got to let everybody juice, or nobody at all. That being said, we got a question here from our boy Flo. Shout out Flo in the Bottom Line Sports. Check
Cowboys on roll.
Yeah, check them out. Tuesday, I said them. I tried to say them with a straight face, like I'm not on the program. Check us out Sundays and Tuesday nights. Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. The Bottom Line Sports. So he says, now that you're speaking of Pac-Man and Mayweather, is this rumors about their rematch legit?
Well, there's rumors with that because Mayweather's doing something that I don't like. He's messing the sport up a little bit. He's going to fight on December 9th, apparently. Same day as Devin Haney versus Regis Prograis, which is going to be a great fight on the Zone. It's going to be on pay-per-view. I'm going to pay for it because I like both fighters. I'm a big fan of both fighters, and I'm going to support, unlike some of y'all dusty people. But so the rumors, either Pacquiao or Mikey Garcia. Nothing's in stone. I haven't seen anything in stone yet. But they're saying Mike Garcia is obviously younger. And
you meant Mayweather, right?
Mayweather versus Mikey Garcia. That's possible.
You said Pacquiao.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good.
Uncle Neil's be getting me sometimes. But so it's Mayweather versus either Pac-Man or Mayweather versus Mikey Garcia. Now, Pac-Man, I heard, is kind of worried about playing basketball for his country. So I don't know if he's like talking about the Olympics.
Come again? Yeah. Say what?
The Philippines, he be balling like that. He be hooping.
Wait, what?
He be hooping.
He's the president and the best basketball player in the way. Is he the president too, or something like that?
He be hooping like that, If it was Hot Take Jake, he probably think he would score 30 and 15 dimes a week. You know what I'm saying?
I do not suppose to know anything about Filipino culture, although I do love all my Filipino friends. Shout out to my Filipinos family.
Eat that lupia.
Oh,
all my people.
Woo!
Phenomenal. So shout out to the Filipino folks out there.
Shout out to, and this is a good shout out, by the way. He's probably not watching. Matthew Pascal, former supervisor of mine, been in the Air Force for like 25 years, still in. Shout out to him. Saving our country every day, but he made me lumpia that I had for the first time ever. This is like 20 years ago, and it was amazing. We won't talk about the rest of that story. Anyways. That being said, so it is possible that we can see another run of this cash grab, even though that it wasn't good 7 years ago when it happened.
I went to one of my close good friends' wedding that day. I don't want to say his name, but you know who you are. But Mr. Brown. But Mr. Brown. I went to the wedding. Was in the wedding. Phenomenal wedding. Love them. Love the Brown family. And I DVR'd that fight because it was the same day as the wedding, and I woke up the next morning, got myself together, drove up home, and watched that fight while drinking a Gatorade, trying to get my thoughts together on what happened the night before, and it didn't live up to the hype. Like everybody was like, "What is this?" Like we waited this long for that. It's not like Earl Spence and Bud Crawford. I've been waiting 5 years. The general public probably hasn't been, but that fight finally happened in 5 years, and I loved every minute of it. Okay, after the first round, Crawford was on that ass. Pause. That sounds reckless, but
reckless.
Crawford was on it and knocked him out in the 7th. So I love that fight. This fight, Mayweather and Pacquiao, not so much. And also, if it's December 9th, a fight of that magnitude, I feel like they would kind of be already promoting it right now.
Right. Yeah.
So that's where I'm
it's a little too close. Another question from Flo, real quick, before we go to UFC 294 is, who does Canelo need to fight then to solidify his Hall of Fame career, or is he already a Hall of Famer? I guess I think he is already. So that's what I thought. He doesn't need to beat Benavidez then to be a Hall of Famer.
No, he's the first Mexican fighter, born Mexican fighter to be undisputed. He's been champion in multiple weight classes. Now, when you say how does he rank against the other top Mexican fighters? No, he's down in the list. Morales, Pereira.
We're gonna have to do a video on that. That's a video. Right
Chavez Sr. Woo. There's so many fighters that are way above him because they didn't do those weight restrictions. They fought all the top fighters. They weren't scared of nobody. Okay, yes, he has the Mexican style of going forward. Yes, but as far as like a top Mexican fighter of all time, hell no, no.
Wow,
he is not up. He's not up there because Barrera, Morales. Just off the head.
Man, we need to do a video on that. We need to do a video on that.
When it comes to that, like that's why Andy Ruiz was the first, Mexican heavyweight champion, not Mexican born, but still Mexican, lineage. I know the proper terminology, but his parents are Mexican. He was born in America, but he championed at heavyweight. So that was the big thing when he beat Anthony Joshua to get those belts. So, the Mexican culture of boxing is I'm coming forward and I'll fight anybody. So Canelo, yes, he's on paper, but how those fights happened, not so much. Not as far as Mexican Hall of Fame. He's there, but he's not one of the top 5 Mexican fighters of all time. Not in my book. It's just
and you know what? I'm gonna get you to say we're gonna do a short on this. Your top 5 Mexican boxers of all time. And we'll do it short.
I would have to look at all the lists. I would have to look at the list.
No, we'll do it later. We'll do it later. Yeah. You'll send me a quick little video, and I'll post a short on the page. But that would be a good short to post. All right. Speaking of
real good fighters.
Wow, really good fighters. Always good. The Mexican lineage of fighters is amazing. That being said, speaking of weight restrictions and speaking of great fights that we have been waiting for, this is one that we had the pleasure of seeing earlier this year. And surprise, surprise. 2 weeks to go until UFC 294 card, and we are surprised with a second dose of great fights. And then, even about 2 days later, we got hit with the new co-main event, which made the card even that much better. So that being said, my friend, let us go ahead and start with any of the other fights aside from the co-main and the main, and then we'll get into those. Are there any other fights or fighters you want to touch on from UFC 294?
I was very happy about this card when it first started. I'm gonna skip to the co-main and main, but this fight on paper, because I was gonna dive deep into it before the injuries happened. This was basically Russia versus Brazil, and I had something good I was gonna do with that. You know what I'm saying? It was gonna be vodka versus Plantanos. It was gonna be one of those. It was gonna be one, good one, but we had the injuries to the Paulo Costa and Charles Oliveira. You know what I'm saying? So exactly, Salvador Sanchez. See, those are great fighters. Shout out to Flo. Damn. So with that being said, do you want me to go co-main or main first? How you want me to rock with this?
Let's go ahead and start with the co-main. So the co-main is the middleweight title contending shot. So whoever actually wins this fight will get the shot for the middleweight title. And we have the returning Kamaru Usman after losing his title in his last fight, getting sent to the metaverse. Oh, that was fight 4. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Sorry about that. Anyways, he is coming on to fight Khamzat Chimaev. So what is your thought? Oh, that's right. He lost to Sean Strickland, the belt. That's right, to Strickland. The last fight.
Is he? You good? Keep going.
Anyway, so what are your thoughts? I know I just messed that all up. I'm getting everybody confused. What are your thoughts on this middleweight fight?
All right. So I'm a little perplexed on this one. Okay, him and Volkanovski, they're coming in on like 12 days notice. Kamaru
and Volkanovski also is having to come up 25 pounds or cut 25
pounds.
Sorry.
10 pounds. He's less than Usman's 15. He's only 10. So with Usman versus Khamzat Chimaev, I love Usman. He's probably the people say George St. Pierre. I'll put him up there as Usman is one of the best, or maybe some might say the best 170-pound fighter. You know what I'm saying? Champion in UFC. Okay, this guy's only lost twice in the UFC, and that was his last 2 fights. Okay, and the issue with him, he's 36 years old, ex-champion, first time fighting at 185. Okay, and to bring in Sean Strickland, which I'm glad you did that. He fought Sean Strickland and beat him before Sean Strickland moved up to 185. So he beat him at 170. So that's why there's a lot of parity if he wins to fight Sean Strickland again at 185 for that belt. And he also said he'd never fight Izzy, his fellow African brother. So, you know what I'm saying, now that Izzy's not the champion, Izzy's going to take a break. Sean Strickland is open. I mean, that 185 champion is open for a free range, basically, for Kamaru Usman. So he lost to Leon Edwards back-to-back. It was the head kick, shin to head, go to sleep. He thought he was back in Nigeria running around. He's knocked him out cold, 5th round. And he dominated that fight the whole way. I don't know why his cornerman told him, yeah, keep it standing up. No. Take him down, make it boring, get the belt. So he lost that fight, rematch in London. And, back in March, he lost a 5-round. He was tentative, okay? So I think if you get knocked out like that, you got to take a little, maybe 8 months off, okay? Just get your mind right. Get a little longer than that. But I think he came back a little early. He lost a 5-round war, even though Leon Edwards was deducted a point. I think it was the 3rd round. He still lost that fight, a majority decision. So on 12 days' notice, we're asking him to move up 15 pounds, okay, to fight Khamzat Chimaev, who is a 185er. Okay, I'll get to him in a second, but we're early. We haven't seen a weigh-in, so I haven't seen how his body looks. I know it sounds weird, pause or whatever, but I want to see if he can hold his weight. Is he still gonna be powerful at 185 the way he was at 170? Okay, so and also people are saying that he has a knee injury. This guy has bad knees. He's been wrestling his whole life. His knees are shot. At age 36, his knees are shot, but he has a phenomenal career. He's 23-3. Okay, so. And he's a high-level wrestler. Okay, I would say his wrestling is probably a little better than Khamzat's wrestling. Now, Chimaev, let's slide over to him. Okay, Chimaev's the man. But however, he's only fought 3 times since 2021. Okay, this man has a long layoff. When he hit the scene, okay, back in I think it was 2020, I believe. When he hit the scene, this man set a UFC record for quickest turnaround win, fighting 2 fighters in 2 weight classes, taking them out both in the first round in 10 days. Okay, he did that, and then
that's amazing. That's amazing. Yes, that's crazy.
Exactly. So that's where the hype has come from. He fought 2 guys in 10 days and took them out in the first round. The second, and then he comes back for his 3rd fight and fight. And this is 2 different weight classes. He was fighting at 170 and 185. And then he fought Gerard Michert in September. So he fought in July, fought again in September, and knocked him out in 17 seconds. So that's where the hype train for him started, okay, when he first came to the UFC. Because people are like, why is he so big? Why is he so big? It's because he's 12-0 and 6-0 in the UFC. And those 6 wins came in a fast pace. So he does have his layoffs, you know what I'm saying? He hasn't fought in over a year. His last fight was against Kevin Holland, which was a catch weight, and that's because he was supposed to fight Nate Diaz, but he came in like 8 pounds over. And Nate Diaz was like, I'm not fighting you. I'm not going to put myself into that. That's what we talk about, the weight classes and weight divisions. So he fought Kevin Holland and choked him out. The fight before that, he had a 3-round war with Gilbert Burns. And Gilbert Burns was training with Kamaru Usman prior to this fight being officially finalized, because he was supposed to fight Paulo Costa, who doesn't fight a lot, and we all know he juices, allegedly. But, he had a bad staph infection on his elbow. He was too busy trying to be Dusty Rhodes in the gym and mess his elbow up. And, he had a staph infection, had to get surgery and whatnot. So that's where Kamaru Usman comes in. Mm-hmm.
And so that also changes the dynamic, because like you mentioned, that was just, 10 days before that they find this out, 2 weeks before that, now he's going to have to, now granted, as you mentioned, right, Usman is moving up in weight, is making his debut at middleweight from welterweight. He did have his losses against Leon Edwards at welterweight. You have Chimaev, as you mentioned, also coming back into the weight class, right? But being heavier than Usman, even though Usman is a good counter puncher, sort of defensive fighter that in that sort of counter way. How do you see that last second inputting of Usman as a substitution for Costa in this fight? How do you see that playing out in the decision? And also, before you go into that, were you more excited to see the Costa fight?
I was, because they were talking a lot of junk. They were going back and forth.
I was excited to see that one.
I was so psyched to see that fight. A little ticked off that's not going to happen, but I was almost excited because in Abu Dhabi, that's where Israel Adesanya fought Costa and knocked him out, or knocked him TKO and won the belt. So I was really excited to see this fight. And Khamzat Chimaev, he talks a lot of stuff. American folks might not like him because he's like, I want to smash everybody. When he beat Kevin Holland, he's like, I want to kill everybody. Allahu Akbar. He's saying he's a proud Muslim, so he'll say these things. And of course, the certain media folks will be like, oh my God, he's a da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm a big fan of him just anyways, because he's a great fighter. The thing about him, people are like, oh yeah, he's from Dagestan. He's not from Dagestan. He's from a country that I'm not going to pronounce it. I can't say it, but it's east of Dagestan. He's near, but he grew up in Sweden. He wrestled for the Sweden national team and has won medals for Sweden. He was out of Stockholm, Sweden. He's moved to Abu Dhabi, changed his camp up, because when he was missing weight, Khabib Nurmagomedov had commented and said, hey man, you need to be around more Muslims, get your mind right. You're off your deen, you know what I'm saying? You need to be around your people, so that way you can get your mind right in the fighting, because it's embarrassing to be 8 pounds overweight, 7, 8 pounds overweight when you're fighting somebody like for Nate Diaz. So he changed his life. I'm not sure he changed his life, but he changed his same camp, but he's moved to Abu Dhabi, to the Middle East, to kind of be around a better influence around him to stop, acting up. But in a press conference, he said basically, I'm a young Kamaru Usman. Okay, he's 29 years old. I'm a wrestler. I can strike. So he's giving him praise, but still saying I'm gonna smash you. Usman being 36 with terrible knees, 12-day notice. Whew, this is not even a club banger right here. I'm going with
club bangers.
I'm going Khamzat. You know what I'm saying? I love Usman. This is a caveat too. I'm gonna go Khamzat. Second round knockout. Okay. TKO, not knocked out cold, but a TKO. But my caveat is going to be a first round Usman knockout. That's my caveat. That's a clever caveat right there.
But the knockout by Usman would be a counter, like KO, like sleep, like metaverse, like
he would put him to sleep, because if he stands up and fights the way he fought against Gilbert Burns, who can wrestle also, I kind of give Usman the advantage, but it's still 12 days notice.
Right.
How does that
very short
power? Right. If this was a full camp, I'd go Usman.
Okay? Even though he is one of the greatest fighters of his generation.
He is. However, he's 36 and has terrible knees. All right. So when I was 36 back in 1973, I was dancing doing boogie nights before boogie nights was a thing. And my knees are shot now in 2023. But that's another story. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, so Usman, I love Usman. He's one of my favorite fighters, but this 12-day notice, man, that's just it's
hard.
It's
That's
hurting
hard.
me. It's tough. So I'm going Khamzat,
Clubs,
second
bangers.
round.
Clubs, bangers.
You heard it. Second
So
round.
second round, TKO on punches. I'm assuming that let's see that then you would have taken Makhachev over Costa as well, or
Yeah, he would took him because Paulo Costa's his wrestling isn't at the level of Khamzat's. Khamzat's wrestling it's pretty good. It's up there.
and he's just he's just like he's just a bigger, just a hulking man, reckless. Wow,
Oh wow,
hulking
fantasies? What's going
competitor.
on here?
Let's just move on.
But with the caveat on that, he talked about the Dagestan, the wrestling they do in the mountains is better than American wrestling.
Of
So
course
he
it is.
kind of said that
They wrestle bears.
Exactly.
Who do we wrestle over here? We wrestle each other. They're wrestling bears out there.
Last time I wrestled a bear, she didn't call me back. But let's go ahead. Let's keep moving. Let's go.
Wow. Oh my
AGG
God.
if you know it. AGG if you know it.
The return of the Mac. AGG.
AGG.
Return of the Mac. Wow. Just taking it back in the day. Shout out to everybody, including my pops. What's up?
What up, Rue?
Salute.
Venus
Love
on.
you. Thank you, Bendy Shung. Yes, thank you for being with us. Thank you for joining us. All right. That being said, that is your co-main event. You had your club banger of Khamzat Chimaev TKO in the third round. Right? No, second round, you said. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You said second or third round? Second round. And then the clubber caveat was Kamaru Usman first round KO. Yeah. Cool. Well, that being said, we have another huge fight, the main event. Ooh. Both of these fights were huge. I mean, arguably, if we could talk about the whole card. We could go into Johnny Walker. We could go into, I can't even pronounce the guy's name, and I'm not going to try to butcher it. Yes, Ankalaev. We could go into all these other fighters that are really, really great. Unfortunately, we don't have the time, but just know that this card is stacked, packed, action. I was going to say action packed, stacked, jacked, and action packed. There you go. That being said, the huge main event is the part due of let me give the champ his due. I was going to say Alexander first because I'm just so used to saying him first. Yeah, let me give the champ his due first. The lightweight champion, Islam Makhachev, puts up the lightweight championship against former or I guess he is still the champion.
He's still champion.
He's still champion in the other division. He's moving up to featherweight. Excuse me, still featherweight champion. Moving up to fight lightweight, but it is again on short notice, right? 2 weeks. Plus, he's going to have to, revise his weight very, very quickly within that time frame. But they just had the first meeting earlier this year, so they know each other quite well from their battle earlier this year. This is a huge, huge fight. They're both considered to be number one, number two, pound for pound in the world. Whoever you are, you may have them there, maybe John Jones. So, my friend, what are your thoughts on this huge fight?
Well, just a side note, Alexander Volkanovski, this man used to weigh 300 pounds and played rugby, okay? And he's the reigning and defending and dominant champion at 145.
You and I are living thing right. Jet flying. You're stealing. We're
Shout out to Rick and Jay Lethal. Met him out in Florida. But so Volkanovski, he's coming in 12 days notice, and this is a rematch. The first time they fought was in Perth, Australia. So now they're fighting where Islam won the belt in Abu Dhabi in the Middle East. Islam's from Dagestan. They're all Muslims out there in Russia. He's fighting in Abu Dhabi with a big following. So, at the press conference, everybody's booing Volkanovski. Everybody's booing. The one thing that Volkanovski said that perturbed me a little bit was the rehydration. He said that Islam wanted 10 hours for the rehydration. So I'm not sure. I need to look more into that, but I want to know, when is he having him weigh himself? Okay. And how much does he have to weigh 10 hours after the fight? Okay. Because Canelo, not to get on Canelo, but he does stuff like we'll weigh somebody 3 times a day or weigh them later in the day to kind of throw them off on their weight. Because once you're weighing, you're fine. You can rehydrate, but if you're over a certain limit, then it's not a title fight no more. Or they can say, I don't want to fight you.
Got it.
So I'm wondering if he mentioned that, but Islam's rebuttal to that was, this is just a money grab. They already had Garmat, who fought Faziz in September, and Faziz tore his ACL, and he was trained to be the next guy, but he doesn't deserve to fight because Faziz tore his ACL. So Garmat does not deserve to fight Islam. Islam said that why not Dustin Poirier? Since he beat Justin Gaethje. I'm sorry, why not Justin Gaethje? Why not fight him? So Islam's basically calling Volkanovski out, saying this is just a money grab for you. And if I was Volkanovski, I would say, you got dang right it is. I don't care. I'm trying to feed my family. I'm going to take this money. So, they're going to give me millions to fight you. I'm going to take this. Who cares? But I love Volkanovski. This man, he's fought more recent. He fought Yadir Rodriguez, I want to say in February or March. He's fought this year. Their last fight was early this year. Like I want to say March this year. I'm sorry. Volkanovski did fight.
Volkanovski beat Rodriguez
he fought in July.
Yep, July 3rd round.
So he's more active. Islam was hurt, so Islam didn't fight since their last fight in March. I'm sorry, not March. Was it April? I think it was April or March of this year. I'm sorry, I'm messing it all up. Anyways. So
it was April. It was April.
April. See that? No, see, man. No, I'll be honest sometimes. So, So Islam, he's been training for Oliveira, and now he has Volkanovski, someone he's already fought. He's happy that he can close this door because of the rematch. He said the first time they fought, they were booing him in Perth, Australia, and now they're here in Abu Dhabi, around his people. So it's opposite. And he's kind of like Khamzat Chimaev. He's like, I'm just gonna smash this guy. That's how they love that word in Russia. But if Volkanovski had more time, I'd be more confident to go with him. Okay, this guy.
That's the thing that I think that's the thing that worries me the most too.
Yes,
he doesn't have a full camp.
If he had a full camp, he even took him down the first fight, which he essed on all of Australian wrestling, and he was able to take him down.
I forgot my own show. We can curse on this show. We're not on the bottom line.
Oh, we can curse? Oh shit!
Yeah, we're not on the bottom line.
Shit,
we're not on the bottom line. I don't know why I keep censoring myself, and I'm like, wait, we're not on the bottom line. I don't have to censor myself.
Oh yeah, well, all right, we can curse. All right, well, the motherfucker got his ass whooped. No, I'm saying, but yeah, so. I'm a big fan of Islam. This man has only lost, I think, once. His last loss was in 2015 in the UFC. This guy is on a tear. He's a younger guy at 31 years old. Volkanovski's 35. He says he's still in his prime, which he is. He's still knocking people out. So I'm going with Islam.
Clubs, bangers.
Let me hear that again. I hear it.
Clubs, bangers. Club.
Oh, that stopped. Okay. But in all honesty, I got Islam, and I think it's gonna go to the deep. Once it gets to the deep waters, to run a third or fourth round, I got fourth round Islam by either TKO or submission, one of the two. I don't have a caveat for this. The caveat will be maybe 5 rounds. But this 12-day notice and these guys moving up, I cannot. For me personally, I could be wrong. That's why I'm up against the wall. You see the bricks behind me. I don't feel confident saying that this person definitely is. Oh yeah, he's gonna whoop his ass. I say that for Usman because Usman can stand up, and if Chimaev fights him, because it's not gonna be hard, it's not gonna be easy to take Usman down. He's a great wrestler, so that's why I say the caveat for Usman. But for Volkanovski, I don't see it going past because he's going to might gas. You know what I'm saying? If it goes, the caveat's going to be it goes to decision. But
Yeah.
I got Islam getting about fourth round. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, unfortunately, as great as all these fighters are, and as good as the card is going to be, because it's still going to be a great card regardless. It is a little disheartening that both of these former amazing champions are not getting a full camp, and that
I agree.
With Paulo Costa dropping out of the Khamzat Chimaev fight, and with Charles Oliveira having the cut above his eye and having to drop out of this fight with Islam. Again, it just makes it really hard for anyone that does not to do stuff on that short of notice. Can it happen? Sure. But the majority of the time, is it going to happen? No. It's just way too hard to overcome those sorts of odds. That being said, I do agree with you. If it were to happen for Volkanovski, it would have to be a 5-round decision. And even then, does he even?
Oh, muted yourself. The mute master.
I did. So we do know he has the stamina to go 5 rounds, but again, short notice. And the same thing with Usman. We know that how great of a fighter he is. We know that regardless of his 2 losses to Leon Edwards, we know that he's moving up in weight. But again, moving up in weight combined with a short camp just does not bode well, no matter how much you train or how much good shape you stay in. So I agree with you on both counts.
And the caveat on that, and it's not a clever caveat, if the Chimaev Usman fight does go to distance, somebody will film me at Top Golf again. That's all I gotta say.
By the way, that's a great time to plug our stuff. Go check us out. If you're already watching us on YouTube, smash that subscribe button, as the kids say, at Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS. Also, go ahead and as well as subscribing on YouTube, subscribe to the Bottom Line Sports on Facebook. It's an awesome sports group where you'll find all the latest news and trash talk. That being said, my friend, I am really excited for UFC 294. It's going to be a great card. We have all the boxing we talked about. Now it is time to move into our world famous Clubber D, the Combat G's mailbag, where he takes your questions and he trashes you. He comes in and I'm just going to be like, hey, Clubber D, he's going to be like, what? I'm just going to do this.
These nuts. Got him. Got him.
I've been waiting to play. I've been waiting to play that soundbite forever on this show. That being said, let's get started moving into the mail bag. First mailbag question. And from PFL over UFC. This states Bellator just had their 300 card, a awesome card that included a lot of top headline names, including one of the top women champion of all time, Cyborg. She's one of my favorites, so I had to throw her in there. But the mailbag question asks, and I'm going to ask you that for all of that. But the mailbag question asks, what are your thoughts on this Bellator 300 card and Bellator's future?
Well, the card was good, but I was just a little pissed that Ryan Bader wasn't able to fight because he was supposed to fight I think his name's Linton Vasily, a British fighter, but Vasily got hurt, so that fight didn't happen. But the card wasn't bad. Khabib's brother fought and won in the main event. It's kind of funny because not funny, but when Khabib's cousin won, you know, they're staunch Muslims, and when he went over to the female fighters, Cyborg and Liz Carmouche, we were actually on the same ship. Long story, but when he went to them, she was in the Marines.
That's crazy. That's
awesome. So when he went to them, he told them, I can't shake your hand because what they're wearing, because you know they're wearing a sports bra in the tights.
Oh,
when you're Muslim, if you're a real Muslim, you know, a hardcore Muslim, you can't.
Right. You just don't talk to. You don't associate.
Yeah, it's kind of like
fraternize with women like that.
Yeah, if they're wearing stuff like that, it's kind of like how when WWE goes to the Middle East,
they got to cover everything up.
Yeah, they're like fat guys going to the pool.
You're so stupid. Don't do that.
But
Like
yeah,
Mabel?
Mabel.
Mabel? Okay.
Deep cut. Anyway, if you could tell me who Mabel is in the chat, I got you. You know what I'm saying?
If you know who Mabel is, I know Omar, if you're watching, you're a wrestling fan. Anyways, go ahead.
But that fight happened. So they have one or two more cards left on Showtime.
No, they have one scheduled.
Scheduled.
Yep.
And it's gonna have Anthony McKee's son.
But why would you even have one more? Just go out on the 300 or Showtime making them. Showtime's like,
I mean, Showtime's obligated to have one more, but they could go PFL route, which is on ESPN, which is weird because you got UFC and then PFL both on ESPN.
That is weird. That is very weird.
I like PFL's concept. That's where Francis Ngannou signed, and Jake Paul will be fighting in February on PFL.
They've got a lot of fighters over there. They got
Shields. She came over and fought Franklin over there.
Kayla Franklin is their top, or whatever. Is it
Kayla Harrison?
Kayla Harrison.
Yeah, she lost to the girl that she beat like 2 years in a row. But
the little.
That's a Brazilian.
Yeah,
she's
Brazilian. That's what I meant. Yeah, I shouldn't say little, Brazilian.
She has some size on her.
So then thinking about that, let me ask you a question there. Then, so would it be wise for PFL then to purchase Bellator, because Bellator has all of those names, including, as you mentioned, Khabib's cousin Usman Nurmagomedov, who is a very much an up and coming superstar. So would that behoove them to do that so they can compete more with UFC?
So the thing with PFL, they're different from UFC. They don't have normally traditional just fights.
Right.
They're kind of old school. They have tournaments, and depending what weight class you're in, it's a tournament, and then at the end of the tournament, you get $1 million. So with these fighters like Anthony Pettis, who's over there, and his brother Sergio, who's a champion at Bellator, would it behoove you to fight these fights to get to $1 million when you've made probably more than that, or you've made close to that per fight? So I don't know the particulars how they're going to do it. Now, Francis Ngannou has signed with PFL. Like I said, Jake Paul, he's going to fight in PFL. He's going to do his MMA in February. He announced. Amanda Serrano, I got to put a sazon on it. She's
Boricua, yepa.
She's going back to MMA. She's fought MMA before. She's going to fight at PFL as well. Carissa Shields, she's fighting Savannah Marshall, her nemesis in boxing, in PFL. So they're trying, and I love what they're doing. And also, their end of the year, which is Black Friday, is going to be their big card, where all the tournaments end and each fighter from each weight class gets $1 million. That's going to be in DC. That's going to be here in DC, day after Thanksgiving. Okay, so it might be another special show besides the 11th.
We may have to
break down PFL.
We may have to make a trip.
Yeah, it's right up the street. You know what I'm saying?
Where's it at? Is that Eagle Bank, or why did I call it Eagle Bank? So stupid.
I don't know if they're at Verizon or now it's called Capital One, but
is that what it's called now? Capital One?
Yeah, Capital One. There's some tapping. There's some tapping.
So Eagle Bank is George Mason, then? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's just George Mason. Yeah. Yep, you muted yourself.
Keep getting emails for Eagle Bank concerts, and I keep thinking that's DC. But anyways, we'll talk more about that. Actually, remind me after the show, because I want to ask you about Dave Chappelle as well. So, all right. So that then okay. So obviously, you think it would be wise for PFL to go ahead and purchase Bellator?
Yeah, why not?
Bellator really has. I mean, they have to go somewhere. Their fighters have to go, so someone's gonna have to pick them up. So we'll see what happens there. Next question in the mailbag from The Money Getter. Shout out The Money Getter. They say there is a rumor that Floyd Mayweather could fight somebody named, they say, that's what they said. Obviously, I know who this person is, but that's what they said. Garcia, Mickey Garcia.
Yes. So Mikey Garcia, he's a good fighter.
I know they said Mickey in the letter though. They typed out Mickey in the letter.
Well, sometimes you can't believe everybody. They be saying stuff, sometimes it's just like the person who uploaded my golf swing, and not mine, but somebody that looked like me's golf swing. I think it was the homie Left Foot Larry. You know what I'm saying? The homie, the child to Larry. It's the homie, and Dale the Snail. Shout out to Dale the Snail too.
Shout out to Dale the Snail.
Yeah, this is probably one of them that uploaded that. But yeah, I don't like the fight. There's rumors of him, like a Flo said earlier, is Pacquiao or possibly Mikey Garcia, who was a good fighter. It's just that it's a 135 fighter, moved up to 147 out of nowhere to fight Earl Spence, which is another fight that Spence just said I'll fight Crawford instead, but fought a smaller person. And they fought in Cowboy Stadium in Dallas. They fought there. So Mike Garcia, he lost that fight. In his last fight, I think it was Sandor Martin. Yeah, his last fight he fought, he lost. So he has 2 losses, but he didn't look good his last fight. He has gaps in between him fighting. He's the best at 135, maybe 140. But Mayweather will say, hey, I'll fight you at 154. So you're asking somebody that's not active at all, even though he's younger at 35, 36, he's a younger guy. Right. Mayweather's active. Mayweather stays in the gym, even at 47, 46, whatever age he's up there. Now, he's up there. But he's gonna say, I'll fight you at 150, 140, 154. So no, I mean it's stupid. It's dumb. It's a money grab. I mean, and I don't like it because someone you train, Devin Haney, fights the same day in Oakland at where the Warriors play. I think it's San Francisco now, but yeah, he's fighting Regis Rougarou Prograis. Shout out to
you're taking eyes and money off of your own prospect, basically.
There you go. Somebody
you're taking your own money away.
Yeah, that's how boxing. That's why boxing is like this. Being petty.
That's craziness. Wow. All right. Well, let's finish it off. One last mailbag question left. And this comes from Aces Squared. Oh, it's a Las Vegas question. That's right. So this person is obviously a Las Vegas Aces fan. And while we're there, shout out to the Las Vegas Aces for winning the WNBA championship last night over the New York Liberty, 3-1. Asia Wilson was your finals MVP. She beasted out while Chelsea Gray was unfortunately and Candace Parker hurt on the bench. So down shorthanded, they did beat the Liberty. Brianna Stewart had one of her worst games of her career, going 3 for 17. And just was not able to Stewie. Shout out to Stewie, still a great player. But anyways, I had to mention that because this comes from this Las Vegas question.
I guess I'm going to add on to that. Go ahead. Oh, I would say yes, that did happen, and they've reached the highest, almost 1 million views of people watching that game. And second, shout out to my mom. She's recovering right now. She had knee replacement surgery. Okay, and my mom is a big time WNBA supporter. She watches the games on Amazon Prime, stealing from me. But she watches the games, and me and my brother get on her all the time about the WNBA. But when it comes to supporting, it's not going to get better until people, as in women, support them. Yes, they'll get the men to watch also, but it has to start with the women also to watch them to get to that next level. My mom's one of the supporters. She watched. She texts me and my brother all the time. She's recovering from her knee replacement surgery, and she did watch that game also. So, yeah, shout out to moms. Love you.
Yo, shout out. I will not say her government on the program, but shout out. I love your mother. She is amazing. We used to chill a lot of times and play a lot of solitaire. A lot of good memories to be had in there. So I hope you are recovering well, Mama. We love you, and we send you the best to Clubba's Mama. Recover well. All right, cool. So that being said, from Las Vegas, UFC recently came out with a news story that they want to perform in 2 places. They want to perform in Saudi Arabia for the first time in March of 2024. Now that they see all this stuff going on there, they want to be a part of that money grab. But also, they want to perform after they saw U2 perform at the Sphere in Vegas. Dana White came out and said that he wants to perform there as well as the first live kind of sporting event to go from there. So what are your thoughts on those events?
Well, fighting in Saudi Arabia, I saw the press conference today. He said Saudi Arabia, Egypt, a couple other places he wants to do. There's a lot of money out there. And Dana White said, we're in Abu Dhabi. We're not going nowhere. Remember, Anderson Silva defending his belt against Damian Maia, one of the worst fights ever. But that was in Dubai. So he's been out there for a while. You know what I'm saying? That's when Frankie Edgar beat BJ Penn on the rematch. So he's been out there in the Middle East. He wants that money, and they love him. Okay, because you got to understand, One Fighting, which is out of Singapore, they are the second biggest global fighting organization. They got basically all of Asia on lock because they do Muay Thai, MMA, and kickboxing. So they got that on lock. So Dana White's trying to ease his way over, and the best way to do it is Dubai, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt. Hey, I'm like, hey, let the fights happen. Let's go. But the only thing is, Khabib, Islam, and other Dagestan fighters, some of them aren't as big as them. So what's the draw? He's going to have to find someone local to make it bigger than, to make it next level.
Got it.
He has fights in China the same way. So it's just, I'm all for it. I love it. Just, hey, have the fights over there. Send me out there. I'll spectate. I'm not getting in the cage.
Let's go.
They won't let me. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Let's go.
Hey, we are down. Send us out there. We'll cover it. So what do you think about the still prospect of them performing in the Sphere? And did you see that yet?
Oh, okay. So before we get in the Sphere, I'll put it like this. And
it looks so cool. It looks so cool. I watched the YouTube thing. It was cool.
It looks cool, but it reminds me of, I told you this earlier. Remember when surgeries, they let people come in and watch them perform surgery? That's how it kind of looked to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like the business is happening down there, and they're just looking up. It's kind of like some of y'all's kids be watching when y'all be peeping in the room when I'm with your mama. But anyway, so it's kind of weird how they do that. So, but I'm all with it, because if you're gonna do that, have the fight, do like a free fight for everybody to see, and have it on the Sphere on the outside as well of what's going on inside. So that way everybody can see it.
Now
Shakur Stevenson, he's fighting during the Grand Prix in Las Vegas, which is cool, but they don't care about boxing. That was mostly Italians that do the Grand Prix, whatever. Mario Andretti and his cousins, they don't care about that. They don't care about watch boxing. But hey, he's still promoting, so I'm all with it. So,
and you know what they said they're going to do with that F1 race is they're actually thinking of making it so the track either goes, I believe, like through it, like somehow, like they're going to like open up the doors so that the racetrack goes through, or like underneath, or it's going to be really cool. But yeah, I definitely got to go see that thing in person at some point. But right now, tickets are probably massively expensive. And right now, I think it's only U2 right now, anyway. So
just a caveat on that, the F1 racing. We had a car, a Ball and Bud's car, but what I'm saying, I didn't lose 5 pounds, so I couldn't get in it because they, the weight restrictions, and
we had forfeit. We ended up selling off the car for parts because we needed the money.
I played pole position on Nintendo. I know what's going on.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Part 3 right here. Hello. Black Street. Ooh, that's my name. When I used to race, they call me Black Street.
The original Rump Shaker. Gotta get down, good Lord. All right. On that note, we are. Oh yeah, that's a great one. On that note, we are going to get down and get out of here because we got football to watch. So before we get out of here, Clubber D, what is your prediction on the game starting right now? Jacksonville Jaguars versus New Orleans Saints, and we'll get out of here.
First of all, I just sent a text message to our commissioner in our football fantasy football league. I let him know that if Trevor Lawrence didn't go, I was going with Jared Goff, but I've had Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne. So
nice stack.
With that, oh yeah, nice stack. You know what I'm saying? I'm 4-1. It's 5-1. It's light. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I can beat D. Screw you, D. Love you though. But I'll put it like this: Jacksonville's proven they can win on the road. They played back-to-back games in London, okay, and then they played their last game. Where was the last game?
They played both games in London.
But they played again this last week. It still was an away game.
Yeah.
So this might be the one. Regardless, they're used to playing on the road. So New Orleans defense is tough. However, they ain't played somebody like Jacksonville. And Etienne and all of them, they are rocking it and rolling. And if Derek Carr, love you like a play cousin, I don't think he can do much. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to New Orleans. That's where we had our fantasy draft. the big boys league. We had a VA Hustlers fantasy draft out in New Orleans. If your fantasy league is still doing it live, you're not a league. Do it in person.
You're not a league. You're not a league.
Do it in person.
And even better than doing it in person, that's what we used to do. You need to go somewhere. You need to have a trip.
We've been doing our shit for 20 years. Okay, we got this on lock. All right. So unless you're doing it live, I don't want to hear you. But anyways,
you ain't got no fantasy league like us.
Woo!
Let me get Ric Flair on there. You and I.
You can't hear him.
I got it.
There we go.
Woo, 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 woo. Right now, you and I.
All right.
Yeah, shout out to everybody.
Right, that's enough.
I'm going with Jacksonville we'll go 9 points.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to actually go the other way because I think Trevor Lawrence, while he is awesome and they have a really great team, he obviously has that knee injury that he's dealing with from last week. So I don't think he's going to be able to play to his normal potential. And I do believe this being a home game for the Saints, I think that they pull it out in a close victory. But I could definitely see Jacksonville winning because I think Jacksonville is the best team there in the AFC South and primed for a playoff run as long as everybody can stay healthy. That being said, as long as your boys stay healthy, God willing, you will see us next time on November 11th for UFC 295, John Jones versus Stipe Miocic. Wow, Stipe Miocic. Let me get that right before he beats me up. In a huge heavyweight battle. It will also be, by the way, November 11th is Veterans Day, and Clubber D, the Combat G, and yours truly, the Sports Professor, will have a huge surprise for you that day.
Can't say that
we
yet.
Can't say anything, but we're super excited. We're super excited. So just wait. Manifest all the good things for us. We love you, fans. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe at Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS. Subscribe on YouTube, and as well, go join at The Bottom Line Sports. The Bottom Line Sports again on Facebook. Join our group, and again, you'll see us next time, November 11th, and you can watch The Bottom Line Sports Sundays and Tuesday nights. Clubber D, the Combat G, go ahead and sign off, my brother, and let's
get out. Shout out to my main man Flo for Bottom Line Sports. Shout out to Happy Birthday Canteen.
Happy birthday, Canteen.
Okay, shout out to him. All right, Hot Take Jake, look, man. Bottom Line Sports, you guys are amazing for having us. You know, you guys are lucky to have me sometimes, depending on what my publicist says. But hey, we're gonna be here September 11th. I'm sorry, November 11th. That's a Friday. Maybe is that a Friday or a Saturday?
That's definitely a Saturday, but that's okay.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, big announcement coming soon with Ball and Buds. You know, I can't talk about it, but big announcement. And remember, that's not me swinging the golf club. If you haven't seen the video, please check the short. That is a great plug. Go check out Clubber D's short. He just put no, but he's trying to say it's not him. He didn't post it. It was posted. I can't tell you. I know who posted it, but I can't say who did, and I won't tell you. And Clubber D doesn't know. But he said it's not him. It could be a cover up. It could be somebody else. It could be a disguise. I don't know. It could be Brandon. It could be Dale. It's not Dale. It's not Larry. It could be my brother. I feel like it could be Lamar, Lovar. It's a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Derek Clubs. We got the protest going against Josh McDaniels and the Raiders still. Shout out to that. Guadio, Abe, Bajo, all the 703 boys. Josh Brown, Mike Weeby, anybody I'm missing. We love you all. Yes, we love you all. Mike Weeby, yes, Mike Weeby, of course. That being said, again, go subscribe everywhere, and we will see you soon, November 11th.